This is a video that you should watch before you purchase long tube headers. Does it work?
Yeah, dude, and honestly, it picks up really well in this shitty light.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too shitty. We got this fancy RwdyAudi light here.
Yeah.
I already tested the mic sounds super, going whisper, 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 whisper. Works really, really well. I see why people get them. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm kind of crooked down because we got supports underneath this car. In this video, I'll get a little closer here. We are going to talk about, what was we going to talk about? Excess power. I had a full ADHD moment, no lie. We're going to talk about excess power long tube headers on a BHF. And this isn't like a product review, or this is more like a service advisory moment here at this point. There's some quirks about these things that you guys should know. This is a buyer guide. You remember those?
Yeah, buyer beware, like Reader's Digest and shit.
Yeah, no, there was a buyer's guide. That was a thing. I can pop a picture in here. There was a buyer's guide. This is like a buyer's guide moment on the excess power manifolds. And just me as an installer, you guys as a consumer of said products, things that you guys might need to know in the foreseeable future for those who don't want to search forums for 15 hours or 15 years like the guy behind the camera. Womp womp. That said, let's dive into excess power why do I say turbo manifolds? Excess power long tube headers for a BHF in a B6, B7 S4s. Let's go. I brought my notes to the party. Cost. What do these beauties cost? These guys come in just under about $600 for a set of long tube headers. Now, from a quality, they are definitely TIG welded. The flanges are really, really beefy. As a product, they do bolt onto the car. You could just send it. Like, you can just slap them in there and go. That said, we can't. Comparable turbo, they're not turbo.
That sounds crazy, I bet, with that mic on there.
Fight.
That has to sound nuts.
The XX Power exhaust manifold long tube headers come in at about $600, just under. Comparable manifolds on the market, somewhere in the $1,000 price range and up. And that's basically the gist of it. There's, I think, 4 manifold manufacturers overall, and they all cost more than $1,000 except for these. You might find some crazy off-brand Chinese Abu Dhabi Temu special that is like $50 plus $600 in shipping, and then excess power shows up. All right, what else is on our list of things that I need to make sure that you need to know about? Modifications. Let's talk modifications. What's it take to put these things in? First thing you need to know is these exhaust manifolds, these guys, they are made for a manual.
We are same.
A manual B6 S4, a manual B7 S4, a manual Cabriolet S4. Doesn't matter. Whoops. It just matters that it's a manual. Okay? So, being as this isn't a manual, because that box right there, proper slush box things, that's an automatic. I don't remember which one it is. We could probably Google. Oh, ZF. Zicken, Get Rid, Rebo, Gibberish.
There it is, ZF6, right?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at you go, Jordan.
So found in BMW X-Traps.
Is it?
The HP5 is, I know for sure.
The more you know. I honestly don't know the exact code. I know that we can extrapolate it from doing some things and reading some stuff. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Do you like Tip Tragics or do you like a DSG?
Tip Tragic or Super Tragic?
Super Tragic. Okay. What do we got to do to make these things work? So, thing number 1, if you have an automatic transmission, all right, actually, let's rewind. Problem number 1, regardless of what you put it on. Let's go this way. So here is a factory exhaust manifold. Jordan, will you please show these beautiful people of the internet a factory?
Get your damn hand out of the way.
My fault. Okay. Is it still autofocusing? All right, so this bolt right here, autofocus, screwed it all up.
Well, no, you got a fucking mic on that thing and you just keep hitting shit with it.
That bolt right, they can just ding it with a wrench. If you have a 25mm gear wrench and needs your blind maybe and the sound accessible device, you can just tap for the same bolt. Problem number 2, which actually I just realized might not be a problem because I may have just lost the studs. But this bolt and this bolt, these things love to pull the studs out of the engine, right? Like they back out. Shit scenario.
What the fuck are those?
Hold on, I think I have a factory one over here.
Serious.
Yeah, it's a really long bolt.
That's fucking dumb.
Nut thing. Hi. All right. So Jordan made me go get a bolt. This is the bolt that goes through these exhaust manifolds. This is all about the, I just forgot what we were actually doing here. That's right, the bolts, the problem, the fitment issues. Okay, that table's... At any rate, I was saying, these are the bolts you have to take out sometime. And by some, I mean a very large amount of them that I have discovered. The studs that are behind these like to exit the chat. And by exit the chat, I mean they get stuck and seized inside of this guy. So you got two options. Option A, get another stud. Remove the stud without destroying the stud. Or move on to option C. And that is this. This is a GM factory bolt for an exhaust manifold. They are M8 by 125. Actually, let me double check. Hold on. We're trying to be like Adam LZ a little bit here. Have a camera guy for the first time.
I've been your camera guy many fucking times.
Well, like, yes, but we're making it a point to do it out of spite, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, and then I clip like half your head off sometimes.
Womp womp. Why is this not fitting? This is some bullshit. I think I may have screwed up. All right. I knew I wasn't crazy. So they're M8 125s.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's ever. Oh.
2 hours later.
Never gonna happen. We tried. All right. So the bolts are M8 125s. The nuts are M8 125s. Here's one of the nuts. All right, like they fit. What I have found over my years of diligent hackery, whatever. These GM bolts, they work great. The catch-22 problem that I was trying to get to earlier is sometimes even with the nuts on there or studs on there, you're gonna fight with the nuts, and the nuts are copper. This is where this gets into. Some of the more difficult bolts back in here, I don't know if you can show them or not, the ding-ding. Back in there. It's easier just to put a bolt in there. It's kind of a struggle bus thing, but it is what it is. You're gonna probably, that light's blinding the shit out of it, ain't it? I know I kind of digress on that. Another thing that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to relocate your factory brackets, these guys right here, from either your down tubes if you're upgrading, or from your stock manifolds if you're just doing, you know, jumping off the cliff, one giant leap. I'm gonna tell you right now, your car is gonna go from probably semi-quiet as a rat walking through a hallway full of Hot Wheels. I mean, it would make a noise. It would, the scurry and scamp would be real.
Walking through a hallway full of Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I mean, this is like...
A gorilla beating the shit out of a dozen pods in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, I'll take it. If you got the right tuner, it'll also make the biggest, deafening, drummer boy sounding pops and bangs until your heart is content. All right, anyway, we gotta move the O2 sensors. The bungs that they have, Jordan, jump on in here again. So down up underneath of there, under here, or back over here, you might be able to see it, right down there, is the O2 bung for a manual transmission. It would normally work because this bracket right here is in a completely different location. Everything happy-go-lucky. It's fine. In our scenario, it doesn't work, so we ended up relocating them right down to here. Zoom in for me there, good sir. We did the same thing on the other side. If you want to come back on this side, I got a light for that, I just realized. So we did the same thing over here with the exhaust manifold, where we took the bracket, basically gave it a little bend, welded it up just to give it some security. Did the same thing with the O2 sensor over here. This one you can actually see, it's right down in there. I think you can finger it right, yeah, right there. Well, I forgot this part here. So, one thing that's also going to be an issue is the O2 sensors. I mentioned earlier about relocating the bungs that are under, well, and we relocated them to down here. They're basically parallel. So the O2 sensors are now located down underneath of the transmission pan, almost parallel with it. You can kind of see the one over here. Okay. And the one on the other side. Something else that needs to be noted is the O2 sensor length. Now there's a lot of options floating around the internet because we've got something like what? 10 billion cars on the road. There's more cars than there are people, I think. Anyway, so factory O2 sensor, right? Nothing special. It's originally comes all the way up here and goes right off the manifold, which I showed you guys earlier. There's a downpipe that comes through here and there's a bung right there that it sticks into. It's super short. Down here, it won't work because, well, obviously the length issues. So there's a couple options on the market. Let me just be clear before I show you this. Do not buy a wiring harness extension. Rule number one, you're adding a fail point to your harness. That fail point is just one more, literally what it says. It's one more thing to fail. What I have found, and I did some digging, is this guy. Let me go over here and drop this thing off and show you the length difference here. That's the difference. This is off of a 2004 Volkswagen Golf R. They're about $85 to $90 depending on where you buy them. It's so long, technically we're gonna have to coil it up a little bit, but putting it down in the bung, kind of just like lollygagging it around. Pros and cons. I haven't found a shorter one. Like if you maybe are watching this and you're one of the few who've already gone through the headaches and that's how the algorithm found you to do this, I don't know, maybe you just stumbled in here. Anyway, and you happen to have a part number for a shorter one, we could take about 10 inches out of this one and be just fine, I think. But this is the one I've been using. It's been working. Well, it works so far. It stretches up there. My point is there may be another one out there that's floating around. The whole thing comes down to this plug right here, which is the LSU dot, I think it's .2. I forget. That was the piece of the puzzle we forgot. But not least, as far as modifications and things that are going to be a pain in the butt, is the bolt that is right down inside of there. I don't care who you are. Even if you're putting a nut on there, it's going to kind of suck. You see it down there. So this leads us to the next issue at hand. Order of operations is no longer a topic of discussion. You basically have to put these manifolds on with whatever needs to come off that's in your way, out of your way, because they don't fit like factory at all. That's the short version. Also, if you need tools, you definitely want to probably gather some different size wrenches. Hence this very tiny wrench that I already used once to get a couple back bolts in place. Where's my notes? Make sure there's nothing else. We talked about installation requirements. Oh, this is one of those projects that if you are, I should probably turn this way. This is one of those projects that hit stop on that for me for a second. Sum this all up, this is one of those projects that if you want long tube headers, don't just jump out the window and buy them. You need to do some research, because in order to put them on, so no matter what, you have to go to this level of extreme to put them in. The engine has to come out. The transmission has to come out with it. The subframe may or may not come out, but it's probably gonna be easier if you put it out on a floor jack on a stand. You can do this on the ground. Ask me how I know, I'll tell you all about it. I've done this. It sucks. But you can do it on the ground. 4 jack stands and a case of beer. You got this. But no matter what, engine comes out. And you're probably already going to have the engine out because you're going to do the undone BHF buy once, cry once scenario of spending about $5,000 in shit that you didn't know when you started out thinking you only needed to spend $1,500 over at AMT Tuned, which leads me to the next reason why. If you're gonna do this with a major service. Do this knowing that this entire thing's gotta come out, and if you're not doing it and you're gonna pay somebody to do it, get your money's worth. Because let me just tell you, the headache that you're gonna get billed for if you're not doing it you're probably gonna say
more in labor to install those headers than there is to buy them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say somebody would probably charge you just $3,000 to put these in.
Do all the major service. Do you have to take the headers off?
Yeah, to take them off now. Factory manifolds even, yes, because you got to get to this heat shield that's right back here. That heat shield right there, which blocks the timing cover. These got to come out no matter what. But yeah, at this moment in time, if you're going to do timing chains and you want to do headers, now's the time to do them. Get your money's worth. Or if you're doing it yourself and you're being a DIYist, consider these things as a possible option. Also, if you're trying to buy performance parts for your car, this is a video that you should watch before you purchase long tube headers, because frankly, it's not like putting them in on a Mustang. What is another really easy car? A minivan? Camaro? I mean, I feel like a Civic. I mean, you know how easy it is to put a header on a Civic? It's 2 pieces. If that. I bet you we could do it in 10.
Should I buy like a T-Move 4-to-1 for the Honda?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But
Put 5 minutes on the clock, see how long it takes. I'm using a blowtorch, bro, just so you know. All right.
what?
To cut everything off to get it out of my way faster. Which is off, done.
Can't be tied if it's liquid.
Yeah, no shit. All right, so long and the short, guys, if anyone else has ever used these things, can think of anything that they mentioned, let's turn this video into basically a modern day forum on it, because they're going to be, there's a lot of these floating around the internet, and there's a lot of people out there who are going to continue us to buy them. Not that they're a bad product. Fantastic, honestly. Donnie's got a set on his B6S4 that he drifts, and they sound fantastic. They're not for the faint of heart behind straight pipes who daily it. Just know, you will probably get pulled over often. Anyway, moving on. That said, guys, that's all we do on this channel. Every day, day in, day out. If you guys like this video, let me rewind. If you like this video and it kind of helped you figure out, answer some questions, or if you have questions, get in the comment section, smash that like button, and thanks for watching. Peace. I'm Audi. I probably should have asked you to subscribe, but anyway.
Now you get to cut that in.